Everybody got your cup. I'm started already. Got to always represent. Always
Hey,
got to represent.
hey, man, we here. Sipping Hennessey
Hey,
time. Red cup.
hey, hey.
Yeah.
Apple juice. Oh wait, we live. My bad. Let me get this. And there.
Hey.
Here we go. Hey, rise up, Falcons. Drink up, guys. There's a lot of drama in this world, There's a lot of things happening. And I'm going to start off by, saying I'm one of the co-hosts. You already know me. Some of you guys love me. I'm Mr. Brightside. I've got my co-host to this way.
We
them boys.
We them boys. Two-time Rosalind champion.
Two-time.
Two-time. Most of y'all love me. I'm the lovable co-commish. We're yin and yang.
Whoa, wait a minute. How did you become lovable?
It's because I don't speak much in the chat, unless I handle the new people. I handle the new guys.
Okay. You gonna make me drink.
Notice, Cisco's not talking no more.
I would say you are the rookie killer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hold the integrity
Rose's protector.
Rosalinda.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm the good guy. People love me. See, you with the commissioner ranks and stuff, people hate you. It is what it is.
And I don't even know why. It's like I'm doing everything that people want. I'm doing what people aren't even doing.
You're right. Well, welcome everybody to Sippin Hennessey. Thank you. This is episode 4.
Episode 4
already. Welcome again. Thank you guys for tuning in with again the commission, co-commission, Brightside with them boys. Today we got a special episode, man.
We do have a special episode.
It's gonna be a good one.
Well, we're starting after the first couple of games on Thursday, and I feel like we've got some interesting things happening in today's chat. I think I would like to introduce our first guest.
Okay.
Not our first guest. This is now our second guest. I'm going to build this up, hopefully.
The legend.
And Corey, if I miss anything, let me know. But who we're introducing is a legend, as Corey mentioned, in the Rosalinda. Yeah. He has so many different high-scoring titles. He has so many winning seasons. He was our second champion. And with that being said, if there's anything that I didn't miss, it's time to bring in champion. How are you doing?
Yo.
What is going on?
Man, I'm chilling. I'm glad to be a part of the show. Got some to get on, so I'm glad to be invited and be here. Speak my piece about the league and whatever.
Okay. I appreciate that.
I just want to dive in. I want to dive in, champion. Again, you're a guest. You've been quiet in the chat. Give me your take. Give me your take on this season, like the league, the Rosalinda.
I think it's been good, man. There's been a lot of yapping. As you said, Cisco's been quiet because this team was. I always check out who has a good team and who has a team that's just hot at the moment. And he never went at the beginning because it's not doing anything. So it's like when I saw Cisco putting up all those points and he beat me, I was just like, who the heck beat me? And then it was J.K. Dobbins scoring off getting 2 touchdowns off of 7 forever. Josh Allen over here balling out, going crazy. That's not going to happen forever. So it's just like, it's whatever. It's cool. And that's just fantasy, man. I see those little things happening. And like I said, I just been chilling, been quiet in the league. I've already told everybody in the chat, this is the new champion until I win again. I'm not worried about that's not worried about being the number one anymore. Every time
different. That's different for you, man.
Yeah, every time
you like where you're at.
I like where I'm at. I'm chilling. My team's pretty solid. I feel comfortable, man. Like I just feel like middle of the pack, just relaxing, win a game, lose a game, win a game. I got knocked out of Diamond. That's not cool, but it's all right.
You got knocked out of Diamond?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say nothing. I'm still the bronze, I can't say nothing. But
well, let me ask you this, man. Who's your surprise of the year? Who's your disappointment of the year? And who's they're doing what we know they do?
Surprise of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Arvin and Bad Intent. I'm gonna go with Bad Intent and Murda.
wait, for which one? What was the
for
which question are you answering? Yeah, surprising or they're not surprised?
Both surprises for me. They're both surprises for me.
Are you so why are you surprised with them?
I'm surprised with Bad Intent because he's made a lot of moves. He's done a lot of things. He's very active this year.
Yeah.
To do record, I'm not really surprised with anybody's record. I am happy that the whole league is pretty there's a lot of parity right by each other. So I'm just chilling all right, it's just gonna be a dogfight the whole way. Nobody's taking the top spot, and whoever takes it gets knocked off the next week. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah,
Eric just said they're both overrated.
I don't think they're overrated. I think that I don't think Bad Intent's team is that good, but I'm surprised more with how active he is. That's my surprise. And then with Murder, I'm just surprised.
Murder. He's not murdering anybody. There's
I'm surprised with him. Same, not as much. I'm just surprised how high he is. He's usually not around there at the time. He's
okay.
You're right. He's usually in the middle.
He's middle, like where I am. Usually, he's where I am.
Well, what's crazy is he's doing his same game plan.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just working this year. So,
you see what Eric said about Bad Intent? He said he's got participation points. Got it. So he's just surprised because he's participating. He said, makes sense.
Doing his thing. Yeah, he's trying to make.
Okay. Who's your disappointment of the year?
My disappointment. Sorry, dog. I got two disappointments. I gotta go with Mr. Brightside. Sorry.
Fair. Very fair.
And for sure, I'm gonna have to go with Cisco, man. Deuce Bigelow. I'm not surprised that he's losing, but I'm just surprised he ain't talking. He ain't doing nothing. I guess
he came in the league hot.
No, I'm just surprised because in the B League he was I'm like, all right, cool. You're gonna be a good addition, man. I'm happy. You actually make a lot of moves. I did tell him before he came in, the only difference is these free agent waiver wires don't happen in our league, in the big league. Too many teams, everybody's waiting for an injury to jump on somebody so they could trade him or something, and we trade picks. So stuff.
That's
people
a huge thing.
Like me, I'll pick up somebody who the last person was hurt. Their backup, the starter got hurt, and their backup's about to start. I'll pick them up, just trade them. I don't even need them. And I tried to tell him that's the difference. I wouldn't pick him up in the B League because I don't have a spot for him. But in Rosalinda, that's a pick. I could get a pick for that. Pick him up. I'm gonna waste my waiver wire.
Special guest.
I am surprised that he's quiet and stuff, but he's on. He might be on the chopping block right now.
What?
Cisco?
Yeah.
How?
Because he ain't doing nothing. He ain't winning. He ain't winning, and he ain't talking or moving. He ain't talking or moving. So
2-0 for the new people killer right here.
If you
man,
don't,
just like I asked you with why they were surprises, man. No disrespect to our commissioner, but are you surprised that he's down there at the bottom? That's kind of a spot where he kind of
make a home down there.
Not being disrespectful, but he's usually the comeback. He's usually like the comeback trying to make that 8th seed getting in, usually around this time. He's usually in the middle of the pack. If he's not in the middle of the pack, he's at the bottom. I'm
not surprised. I thought that was the disappointment, the biggest disappointment.
All right.
I want the commission to do well, man. Like, it's commission.
Yeah, appreciate it.
He's in there every year, man. Every year. I'm waiting for his big year. Like, hey, this is my year. I'm doing it this year. And it's always a disappointment. Like I always tell him, like, hey, you had a championship if you would have.
I had two. But I had two. I looked at it. I go back ever so often, and I'm just like, dang.
Oh.
If one of them, if we them boys didn't beat me, I would have been in the championship. Yeah, twice. But it's neither here nor there.
Okay, and that three-piece. So who's doing what they do? No surprise
for sure.
I'm actually first. I'm usually never up there.
But you make it up there, like at the right time. It turns around for you.
You lose, like you done this for the past, I feel like 3 years. You've lost first 4 games, and I'm just like, well, everybody's all like, oh, Corey's out. I'm like, nah. I'm relax and keep my eye on his moves and just chilling. Like I don't underestimate. I'm just chilling. Like, all right, well, he's losing. It's all good. Whatever.
That's all you can do.
I just had a goal, and I accomplished it early. Like, if you bring up the standings for me real quick, Commish, this was my goal, since like I said, he came in hot. He came in hot. And as you see right there, where it says streaks, you see how who's the highest streak and who's the lowest streak? Look at it for me.
The lowest is Cisco. Mm-hmm. Four losses in a row.
And the highest is me. That was my goal. I had to put out the new guy. He came in hot, was sending pictures of me and his rings, and none of that works over here. I had to let you know. Same thing that happened with Paul. He said don't compare him to Paul, but he's starting to disappear like Paul did.
Yeah. And I know that he's still there. He's still active in the league.
Oh yeah,
I know he is. I know he's making moves.
He's not used to losing. It's rough. I understand. I understand.
So would you? Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say my last question. I was going to say my last question for BJ, but go ahead, ask your question because we're on that.
Just with him being on the chopping block in general.
Did that, by the way, I didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
He said he's possibly on the chopping block, correct?
Huh?
You said he's possibly on the chopping block.
Possibly on the chopping block if he keeps on not doing anything. I mean, when I lose and I think my team is messed up, like his team, if you look at it, is kind of messed up. Mm-hmm. You got to do something. Like, you either got to trade your players for picks and hope you don't come in last, or you do something to start winning.
I mean, yeah, that's big because even like Eric, like he noticed his team was messed up before Devontae Adams came, and he was not settling for that last place. He was like, I gotta get something going, and he's been making moves. Definitely.
And you're just chill. You're losing, and you're just chilling. I'm like, yo, you're not even gonna try. Like, that's fine. Like, we don't. This is the year where somebody's getting into the B League. So if you want to chill, come in last.
So this is something you are going to bring up at the ceremony. Is
somebody
is voting out
for sure? It's not even vote out. Last place is going to the B League for sure. We're not playing around this year. Last for sure in the B League. So
you talk to the committee, have the committee talk to the commissioners, and we'll figure this out. We'll really see what's really happening. If you have those kind of connections,
Well, my last question for you, man, and this is just a bold prediction, to get the chat a little, who's the big game? Who's going to be in the big game? Give me your two.
Man. I gotta look at the squads again, but I don't feel like either, man. My team steady, chilling.
They are. They're nice. Your team's nice. Your team's that one where you don't want to play them in the first round of the playoffs.
Lamar hasn't even had a game, like a good game.
Yeah.
Yet to even have a Lamar game. So I'm just like, cool. As soon as you guys won and start getting in a group, it could be a wrap. But not being biased, I'm gonna have to go with man. Let me look at the squads real fast.
This guy.
That's tough.
I think so. It's a rough league. Man,
I mean, we already know where my vote is, and I feel like I have to stay strong with that and hope that this person does not disappoint me this season, because I feel like I'm putting I'm going with my guns, and I'm still saying charismatic champs. I feel like I cannot change that answer. Oh, against somebody? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm so.
Who's the two?
Low key. I just finished looking at it, and corrupt commissioner, which is I think Richard. Is that corrupt commissioner right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. His team looks pretty solid. And I don't know where he got all these players from, but his team looks pretty nice. Like, it's a kind of dangerous team. And Justin Herbert has been playing very good.
Lights out of nowhere.
Like, and he probably picked him up off a waiver wire. He got a good running back. He got Christian McCaffrey back. If once Christian gets better as the season progresses, which will probably be good by the end of the season.
Hopefully he don't.
When our playoffs start, Christian will probably be 100% by then. That's dangerous. This is a good team.
I'm dying. I'm sorry. I just told you, Herschel just hated. I don't know.
I'll get to him.
We're gonna get to these things. We're gonna get to these things, man. It's gonna be a good episode. We're gonna give y'all some time, for the commish to answer the comments, man. We're gonna get there. But I appreciate the answers to those questions, BJ. I'll go ahead and let the next segment go ahead and
really quickly, let's review what happened in the week 8. Just really quickly, since we're already the first game into week 9 already, I just kind of want to ballpark answers to all three, or to all of us. Just what game was not a surprise? What game was an upset game? Mm-hmm. What game were you guys paying attention to the most besides your own? Unless that was the most important game or the closest game to answering any of those questions.
Man,
what do you guys think, and the outcome of it, without looking at who played and how people played, because I feel like it's already too late.
Yeah,
just score wise.
The biggest surprise for me, honestly, was the two people we talked about. BJ surprises, Bad Intent versus Murder Rick. 51 points,
and the biggest blowout.
I don't think I've ever seen that. The lowest points I have a tie, me and BJ, with the lowest points. It's in the record books.
Dumb. Dumb.
But that's a surprise, man. I have Murder Rick to go all the way. I know Walter Eric, he think, they're both bums and they're both, overrated, but I think Murder Rick definitely has the talent on his team to go somewhere. But with Zeke struggling and that offensive line struggling, And just all that going on, his running backs are kind of dwindling away. But for me, that was my biggest surprise. I think that also was one of the biggest games I was watching, because they're both 5-3. Murder would have took a big jump if he would have won. He still would have been in first. And, Bad Intent would have went down if he didn't win that game. He would have went to 4-4 and would have been in the pack. Yes. And he started off, I believe, 4-0. So, I mean, I don't think he would have lost. If he would have lost another game, it would have been bad. It just would have been bad. So I was paying attention to that. So that's the most game I paid attention to. That's the biggest surprise. And for, they did what they were supposed to do. That's no surprise. It's Amari versus Kaiser. Yep. That's a given. I mean, Gio jumped out there and was like, oh, look, he showed all the projections and he was the only one green. And in my head, I'm like, it's only
yeah.
I was really going to get him because I was like, Gio, didn't you start off 4-0 or like 3-0? And look where you're at. And he jumped out there and was hyped. It was like he said I jinxed him, but it's like, yeah. Bro,
What can you tell him?
But hey, 124-83 ain't nothing new there. We knew that was gonna happen.
Besides the Commish Bowl, I honestly was looking at Dumps Like a Truck and the underdog game. The only reason I was looking at that is because Dumps Like a Truck and Brightside are like this.
Yeah.
And going into that week, I was already in the toss-up as far as if I win, I win, and if I lose, I'm still at the bottom. Nothing is really going to change with a victory right now. But I knew that if he lost, it was going to either bring him closer to me or separate us. And me looking at the standings and looking at the game at the same time, I was comparing it. I was seeing that if we had the same record, I have more points. So it would just easily be a quick switch. And that's the game that I was really looking at. And the game, as you said, that wasn't a surprise, is Charismatic Champs and Kaiser. Like, that was just not a surprise. It's nothing against, as we both mentioned, nothing against Gio, but his team feels like it has some holes in it. And I don't know. I'm being kind. I don't know how far it's really going to take him. Are those holes going to get filled by the time when it's crunch time, when it gets closer to sealing your spot in the playoffs? I can't say that that's going to be. I can't say that his team is going to help him stay in that 8th spot.
And
I just don't see it. The surprise was the Bad Intent and the Murder Rick game. I thought it was going to be closer. I thought it was going to be a shootout. I thought there was going to be mess talking from Bad Intent after the fact.
Man,
and none of those things happened.
It's crazy because they're low key a rival too.
Yeah,
they go back and forth in the chat. So maybe he didn't see the final score yet. I don't know. Like, I thought there was definitely going to be some trash talking on his end.
He was too busy watching the Saints game.
Yeah, he was.
Which is fine. Yeah. That's what he's going to do, right? Is there anything else you guys want to talk about as far as week 8?
I want to hear BJ.
Oh yeah, BJ
take on week 8.
Yeah, I agree with you, Corey. I knew that was gonna happen against Gio. I just started dying when he.
I wish we could bring up the screenshot.
I was dead. Like, he was just like, well, looking like a nice week. It's like, okay, man. The whole team, everybody's teams have been playing.
Oh, yo, I couldn't stop dying. As soon as he posted, I was like, is he really posting this?
I real thought, like, I might have had, like, his whole team. They were, like, up, like, 150 or something. Like, but he posted it was only 120. I was just like, okay. Like, well, that was just funny. I was paying attention to Bad Intent and Murda's game for sure, and definitely that was the surprise game because yeah, I was just shocked that Murda got smacked like that.
Yeah,
that was I didn't see that coming at all. At all.
for sure.
Wow. Moving on to this week, it's time to do the pick'ems, and I'm not a bragger. I feel, I'm not.
But
I do want to say that 2 weeks in a row now, I have gone 5-1 with picking the teams that were going to win for the Rosalinda.
Hey,
I'm not saying
you might go 6-0 if you stop voting on yourself.
Hey, you gotta believe yourself. You gotta believe in yourself.
I'm just saying, you go 6-0 if you stop voting on yourself. I mean,
never. Never.
I understand.
This is what happened last week, and like I said, look, I didn't even vote on myself last week.
Man, that boy Murda, he mad at me. That man had me to lose, maybe because of that trade. He was confident, but hey,
it happens. So yeah, let's get into some league pick'ems. Let's talk about this week. Let's see who you guys are picking. I mean, I already made my picks already.
I totally forgot to make my picks. You told me too.
No worries.
But let's go ahead and run down the list.
Let's start.
After we do the pick'ems, I want to get to some of these comments these guys got over here.
Okay,
we're gonna knock those out the park.
Let's start with your game, dude.
Okay.
So the Bad Intent Weedham Boys game, you already see where my pick goes, and I really do feel like it's going to be a really great matchup between Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson. I think both of them are lights out right now and are just doing everything they can to make sure their team wins. Going down the list, kind of quickly, I just really believe that with Russell Wilson throwing to Metcalf is only going to hurt Bad Intent in the long run. And that for me is why I have to go Weedham Boys instead of Bad Intent for that one.
Russell Metcalf, man, yeah, you're right.
That's his boy.
For me, I mean, I went against myself before. I don't think I'm gonna do it this time. Even though I am shaky on my team, I think my downfall might be coming soon. Yeah, I lost Mike Davis as a starting running back, because Christian McCaffrey's back. Leonard Fournette is back. So Rojo's carries just dropped tremendously. I almost lost you because of that. I'm nervous about it. And then Kittle's gone for the season.
Yeah.
Kittle's gone. So I'm shaky, man. I think if I could pull out this win, though, I feel fine with getting into the playoffs if I pull off this win. But I mean, I am gonna pick myself, for this. But I'm gonna be watching this game close. I'm not comfortable with it, But like you said, it's gonna come down. If Tyreek Hill has a game and Kyler Murray has a game and Metcalf, then I'm gonna win. Those are my three workhorses. So, yeah.
Champion.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with Weedham Boys, but like he said, he is missing that running back now because of problems like fantasy. That's what happens. I do think that it will be a close game. This is probably the game that I'll pay attention to, just because Russell's been crazy, and so has Kyler. But I think that this will be the game that I pay attention to for sure. But I do pick Weedham Boys. Can't go against not my rival, but my competition, man. That's my comp, man. He always calls me higher, and I call him higher, man. That's what we do.
Hey, you guys notice I ain't calling you, right? I ain't bringing y'all down.
And again, they're both 5-3, so it's a big game.
It is a big game.
It's a big game.
I think probably win or lose, it would be first place, at least second, first or second.
Yeah. Okay, what we got next?
Champion against Murder Rick.
Oh,
Champion, would you like to talk about this first?
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that, I was just like,
Yikes.
I thought I played him. And you know how you always be putting nobody in, so I was just like, what the heck? You got 0? And then I saw nobody's in. But then I was going through his team to see who I would think he's putting in, and I saw a lot of questionables. I haven't been able to look at it again. I can't see it from now, but obviously, yeah, I'm gonna pick me. I feel good. I am kind of scared because I did have to start a tight end for my flex, and I don't like starting tight ends or receivers at my flex. You know, my strategy is always 3 running backs. So that could be my downfall, or Noah Fant could go off. I hope he does, so I could trade him. And because that trade deadline is coming up, and I'm just hoping that my players just ball out. So
I hope you guys just listen to his trade bait. I'm just letting y'all know.
I'm not even a greedy guy when I trade, man. I'm just asking for some picks, you know?
Yeah.
But I have to go with myself, but definitely got the respect. Murda's definitely got the respect. So
yeah, I like that. This is a tough one, man. I'm looking at the matchups. It's a big game.
Yeah.
This is going to bring win or lose. If champion wins, it brings them level, and it's going to come to points, you know, and it's going to be, man, this is another big game.
Yeah.
I like, Lamar Jackson versus Indy. See, Murder's problem is his quarterback play. He's trying to find a quarterback, and I don't know if I necessarily believe in Edmonds.
Really?
I don't know if I believe in Edmonds. And then this is Le'Veon Bell's first game, right?
No, he's been there, but he's just been trash. Like they give him
did he get a good amount of? Edmonds has been balling, huh? They're coming
going against the Miami's giving up the 10th most fantasy points to running backs.
And this is a tough one, man.
There's chances.
I don't know. Let me hear what you got to say, Brightside.
Well, you see my pick on the screen. I'm going with Champion, and as I saw, the same thing that Champion saw was Murder Rick didn't have a lineup for a couple of days, and even for me, when I had to make this decision, I didn't really know what to do. I had to pull out a calculator, just look at projections, and then look at people's stats and see what's really happening. At the end of the day, I did go Champion because of Lamar Jackson, Thielen, Robbie Anderson, Todd Gurley, D Swift, Kelsey, and Washington's matchup. Not Washington's defense, just their matchup.
Always and defensive matchup.
And so because of that, I was just like, the only thing that would really help Murder Rick in my eyes with my little knowledge is Baltimore's defense, Montgomery, Waller, and maybe D Moore, maybe his wide receivers, because of what they did to me. You know, and that's about it. Man. You know,
Baltimore's defense has been on fire. I think if the Baltimore Ravens have a game, man, like it's this close, man. But like you said, I like Lamar Jackson against Indy, you know, and I think it's going to come down to quarterback play because they both have good receivers and running backs. Waller and Kelsey are good. Waller is like a beast. Low key, he's like number 3 in the tight ends. Well, before little Kittle went out, you know, Waller. Like I mean, in my personal opinion, I don't know statistically Waller's solid tight end. Like he came out last year? I think Amari had him, and he was just balling. But I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna go Champion in this one, man.
Hey, that's 3 votes. Don't let us down. Don't let us down.
Yeah,
I might want to lose just so I can stay in the middle of the pack.
You're gonna
and I would say that game is a game of the week contender.
Yeah, the last 2 we just talked about. Oh, this one, man. Go ahead, Hirsch. Hit this game off.
So,
this your boy you playing against, man.
This is my boy. So I wanted to touch on an earlier thing that Champion had brought up.
Is his nickname really Mole?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to ask that because I didn't see that till right now. I'm like, does that really say Mole?
Yes.
Richard, you're crazy for that.
So
cut it off and make some guacamole.
So overall, for me, I picked myself because I felt like I needed to support myself with this game. He's clearly throwing out some propaganda out there about a corrupt commish, but I don't even know who he's talking about. He's not talking about me. I don't know who he's talking about. So I feel like that's even more why I had to go with myself. And the only thing that I feel is going to help me is what Aaron Rodgers did, and hopefully what Godwin can do for me. And who knows? Maybe Watson decides to throw it to Fuller. Maybe. Other than that, Herbert, Michael Thomas, if he actually plays, Hopkins, cool, my boy Young Ho. Like it doesn't really look good for me projection wise, but I'm just hoping for the best, and I think that I can pull off this win if everybody else could just do something for me. If everybody could just do something for me. So that's my pick. Earlier, before he had changed something on his lineup. My live projection was equal to his original projection, and that, in my mind, would have been interesting to see that we actually have a legit tie, not a scheduled planned tie as Champion and We Dem Boys has had. You know, so who would you go with, Champion?
First off, I don't think
scheduled tie.
Me Dem Boys had a scheduled tie. I think that was a natural game of tie.
We had injuries, and we just didn't have the manpower to start a proper lineup.
You know, and it was playoffs. You couldn't pick up anybody like that. You know,
and I think the commissioner actually locked teams back then.
Yeah, so it's just like we just had to deal with what we had. And
matter of fact, I need to sip some Hennessy on that.
Well, anyway, sorry, Hirsch. I'm gonna have to stay at the bottom for the week. Gonna go ahead and go with your boy, Corrupt Commish. Just because, like I said, I like his team. If they all play like the superstars that he has on his team, if they play the way they're supposed to play, then he has a solid team. So I'm gonna have to go with Corrupt Commish.
That's fair. I ain't mad at you.
I don't know, man. I like her. I like Hirsch for this one. I'm gonna start off with just saying I'm gonna pick the commish, man.
I appreciate that.
I like Aaron Rodgers went off. McKinnon got that last second touchdown. I mean, I know you was happy when he punched it in with 4 seconds left, you know, and the Niners got blew out, and I like a with just 2 players. I mean, that's huge. That's huge in my opinion. We don't know what Christian McCaffrey's going to do. He's coming back from injury, you know. But dang, I just seen this man's roster.
I told you.
This dude is loaded. He got Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, D-Hop, Michael Thomas. Did someone trade him Michael Thomas? Like, he's had this?
That's why I picked him. I looked at
I still got to go 50-point league because a lot of these players are coming back from injuries. A lot of these players haven't played ball. It's just Dalvin Cook and D-Hop that's been playing ball. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with Brightside, man.
I appreciate that.
Okay, let's get to this. Let's get it rolling.
Dang, people are just chewing me up, man.
I know, man. We're going to get to the comments, man. We're going to go back
to the
comments.
I didn't even say nothing to you. Anyways, next game, you know, it's like it's my boy.
Let's just fly through this one, man. Come on, man. This one's an easy one.
Yeah. Charismatic Champs. I don't even need to look at anything. I don't even need to look at Mighty Rick's team. No disrespect to his team. at all. I just don't even need to look. I don't.
I tell you what, though, if Derrick Henry has a game, Mari's gonna be in trouble with Devin Singletary over there. But yeah, man, he doesn't have the manpower. Scam Newton, he's a scam, so he ain't getting it done. He is playing the Jets though, but I'm gonna go Amari, man. Even though I don't want him to win, but I'm gonna go Amari.
And seeing Mighty Rick's defense is like, I don't think Chicago is going to be able to hold Tennessee like that.
Who? Chicago has a defense?
No. I said I don't think they're going to be able to.
I know. I'm just saying. I didn't even know they had a defense.
Oh,
let alone someone start them.
But that's what we got. Champion?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the champs. You know,
like, why not? This will be the next one. Dumps like a truck versus Kaiser. Is this an easy answer or is it not?
Yeah. He's got.
Let's look at the people that he's taken off of his squad. So he chose to go. So he's going to put in Watson because I don't know what other quarterback he's going to put in. Wide receiver. Yeah, wide receiver. All he has left is Kirk and Tim Patrick, which he told me to put some respect on his name. And looking at his stats, he had that one game of respect, and he is back to 0. So that'll be that. He's got 2 running backs. You're looking at the running backs that he has. You've got Gus Edwards with Mark Ingram being back, enough back. Who knows what's really going to happen with his production rate? He doesn't really have anybody else after that for the running back position. So I don't know who he's going to pick up looking at the free agency.
His starting lineup on his bench already. Like, he has no option. His whole starting lineup is already there. Like, looking at it,
right?
His starting lineup are the people right there that can play. Everybody else has a bye. So he can't play Burrow, Higgins, Sanders, Chubb. I mean, he's gonna put in Ebron because Jonu's been disappointing him. You know, what's your name? Pope is doubtful, so he's got to go Patrick. He's got to go Kirk, Gus Edwards, Watson. Yeah, his team is.
And based on just the single digit projections, I know it's just projections and they really mean nothing. But based on that, with already playing one person, which fantastic, Devontae Adams getting him 23 points. I know that it's all projections. I know anything can change.
Yeah,
really quickly. But just based on who he has on his team, my answer had to go with Kaiser, just based on who's on the team. Not saying that on Kaiser's team it's a whole lot better or anything like that. Like, I'm not saying that. But based on the lineup, like who has the better lineup? Who has the better lineup to put in? You know, and that's why I had to go with Kaiser. I just don't see Dumps Like a Truck's lineup or potential lineup being something to destroy Kaiser or anything. He'll probably keep it close if those players can actually outperform themselves.
I think I'm going to go ahead and take Dumps, I think, because 23 points for one receiver is a good start. That's where that's a great start. Devontae Adams balled out. I think, like you said, both of their teams, you know, nothing's a super standout, minus Devontae Adams and Deshaun Watson on a dump side. And then Julio Jones is the only standout I really see over there. And, you know, he's a sometimey, you know, and I don't see Tannehill getting it done. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Dumps.
All right. Champ?
I'm going to go ahead and take Dumps also, just because, like I said, the start with the receiver, Devontae Adams, that's a lot of points from a receiver. And same thing, I just don't – both sides, I don't see anybody that's going to wow me. And then it's like that's just how Gio built his team. We've already talked about it before. So, like, and he squeaks out wins with it. So, I mean, whatever your strategy is, it works for you. It works for you. So, but I really only one person on the team that I would trade for. Everybody else, cool. I just hope one day I have one of those quote unquote sleepers that Gio wants, so he could trade me one of his good players.
Quote unquote sleeper.
Hey,
Jordan
that's what works for him.
Okay, let's move on.
This last game, I believe, is the other contender for game of the week, and the only reason why
the B Leaguers.
Exactly. This is the B League Bowl. This is what we're really looking at to see when you come into the Rosalinda with all the message you were talking before or things that you were saying. If you can't even beat the person you came into the league with that you dominated, whoever says it, like this is where you're going to have to prove it. And projection wise, in the very, very beginning, it was projected like a 1 point difference. And not to say that we're believing in projections, but like this is going to be a close game. I personally believe. And I want to see who is the better representation of the B League.
Well, your pick is right there. So you're going with the underdog.
And he was the last B League champion, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Last B League champion.
So I feel like there's some pressure on the underdog because he is the champion from the other league. He's going against the competition from the other league. And with Deuce Bigalow potentially being on the chopping block, I think that if the underdog does get the win, then this just goes more into putting him on the chop block just off of just this game of who is the better B leaguer. I feel like that's just how it's going to be. So,
they both started off bad.
Yes.
The good thing is
yes.
The good thing is the underdog's bad game came from a tight end and not a running back. I mean, he was only projected to get 6 points, and Hasty, he was supposed to be that guy because people wanted him off the waiver wire. And I'm gonna go ahead and go the underdog, man. Josh Allen's been dipping.
Yes.
None of his other players have been performing. He hasn't made any changes to his team. They've been performing the very same. Hasty's his newest addition, and he didn't do nothing for him. Tom Brady's been on a tear. He's going up against Drew Brees, so there's a lot of pride and macho about that. Alvin Kamara's out shootout. Yeah, Melvin Gordon. I'm going with his name says Delancey. I'm gonna go with him.
Hey, Delancey.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the underdog also. Just looking at the teams real quick. Josh Allen is on a free fall. I don't know why he didn't. I don't know why he didn't trade him when he was balling out. That would have been my first move because this fool's never played like that ever. He ain't that good, so I would have traded him immediately, just like Corey did in the USFL. But anyway.
So what I want to do to segue out of this of the league pick'ems is I gave my potential game of the weeks. Okay. I had said this game, and I said not my team. I said the Deuce Bigalow game and the champion game as my potentials for game of the week. But I want to give the game of the week to We Them Boys to announce. Who do you want as the game of the week this week?
For me, it's got to be Champion and Murder Rick. That's it's not necessarily a rival, but those are both guys who score points. I think it's a big game. I mean, because if Champion wins, and for instance, even if I lose or someone else loses, he's jumping up to the top 3. And from sixth place and Murder Rick, they dang near gonna swap places. So it's a big game. It's a big game. And so yeah, I would have to say Champion versus Murder Rick.
Okay.
I mean, I like I definitely like I definitely like the B League game, but I mean this game right here is big for me. So yeah, and that's the one I'm gonna be watching the most. That's the one I'm most excited to see the outcome.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Game of the week is going to be Champion against Murder Rick. I think this is the first time Champion is Game of the Week. I think this is the second time Murder Rick is Game of the Week this season. And we're just going to see what happens. I want to talk about the standings really quick.
Okay.
Only because everybody is so close right now. And looking back at the matchups, there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Every game but my game is going to change the way that the standings look. Like that, everybody is in
your game too, because corrupt commissioners 4-4. So depending if you beat you or lose to you, your position doesn't change for you, but everybody else,
it would have dumps loses.
Yes, and you win.
And I win. Yes.
Man, boy, is that going to be, if that happens, it's going to be a good Sippin Hennessey day. Yeah. Because, boy, Dumps don't want that to happen, and I know Brightside going to have a field day.
He is right here. If he loses, I'm on top because I've got more points. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I think as he has mentioned in the chat.
You win, and him and Cisco lose. Oh, man.
You boys in 10th. You boys in 10th.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Yeah.
Like, I know nobody likes me, but the people on the screen right now. But
hey, but with standings, man, this is prime Rosalinda football.
Yes, it is.
I love it. It's close. I love where everyone's at. I'm scared of I'm scared of where Champion's at because again, I don't want to play him in the first round, and so I don't really care to be number one. I'm usually not there. I'm not feeling comfortable in number one. Man. Yeah, so I'm just excited about the standings. This is good. It's good football. It's good football for everybody to where you see people. I mean, Gio's in the playoffs right now. That's great. But you know what's crazy? That's where Gio usually is too, at the 8th seed. You know, so it's really wild, like where everyone is. Bad Intent's in there. I'm not used to seeing Dumps like a truck down there. He's usually in the middle, like where Murder Rick is, or he's at the top. Mighty Rick's where he usually is.
Right.
You know. So yeah, that's what I
say. Champ, you got anything to say before we move on?
Yeah, like Corey said, I like the parity of the league right now. Everybody's just right by each other. Wins and losses are very it affects the whole standing. So yeah, it's crazy, and just got to keep on playing and doing our thing, you know.
Yep,
this is true. Let's get to this section.
Can we talk about comments real quick?
That's exactly what I was bringing up next.
Hey, are you able to? I know sometimes you're able to put comments on the screen. Can you do that?
Let me see. Oh yes. Any particular one you want me to show?
Yeah, let's start with the chopping block one that Eric did because that's like the first. There we go. But this is a
Eric Rodriguez chopping block. Y'all wild. LOL. Yeah. Let's discuss the Murder Rick and Brightside trade as people on the chopping block. Let's discuss. Who would like to start?
I mean, I'll go ahead and start. You know, I think we were talking about Cisco being on the chopping block at that point because then he said, "You get it's backwards. Why is he on the chopping block? Yada yada yada." Because Arvin doesn't talk. As far as chopping block, I think Arvin hasn't been active in the chat, but he's making moves on his team and he's not at the bottom. So people that are on the chopping block are the people that are at the bottom three.
Fair.
Really, you know, so that's what I think.
Fair.
That's what I think when I hear chopping block. It's not Oh, because not necessarily just because you're not in the chat. I think that definitely contributes to it. But as far as chopping block, it's like, hey, your team sucks. You haven't been active. You haven't been doing much, and you're not even not active in the chat, and you're losing. That's like your chopping block material. Like I don't think we said Eric's on the chopping block because he's active, but his team is at the bottom. And so it's I think it's a joint of a couple of things that put you on the chopping block.
Yes.
As far as that trade, I mean, I want to hear from Brightside on that too. That's and I'm not here to murder nobody. We already did that in the chat this last week. We already discussed it and went in on each other.
I didn't go in on nobody, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. I say nothing. I just accepted the assault.
You do sarcastically though, so that's how you do it.
Hey, only the good ones catch on to that. But let's
go ahead.
Let's look at it really quick. For me personally, when I was looking at this, when this trade was presented to me, this trade, right here initially when we were talking about it, I didn't have a running back, and honestly, this was the best setup for me, just to give me potential to win. Because as we had discussed earlier in the show, if you are chilling and you are losing, something's wrong. And for me, I know that it's the trades that I don't do or should have done is what really hurts me. It's the risk that I'm not willing to take most times, and that's what really hurts me. So with this trade in general, I was just like, I need to take a chance. I need to do something to shake up my team because it's not cool being in last place at any point in the season. So I think
it was a great trade for you. I think it was a tremendous. You didn't give up nothing. You didn't give up nothing for this trade. So how do you get a starting running back for dirt? How does that happen?
At the time, Jamal Williams was actually active and was actually going to be doing some good things. I think in the transition from the first trade to the next trade is what we had already agreed upon.
So it was like a two-way trade.
Yeah, but it was something that we already agreed upon. Okay, I get to have my players, and then you want this player after, regardless of what happens. Okay. And then next, I saw that he got hurt. I saw he was on the COVID list. Like, I was like, hey, this is what we said. This is what we discussed. And I would have been okay with keeping him because I realized I'm giving you a bad player. He is no longer usable,
Right.
But he said, no, that's what we said. So I'm like, okay. And that's pretty much it. I was really wanting to just give myself a chance, make some moves and try to do something,
Okay.
But I mean, if that's grounds for putting me on the chopping block, then get your axe ready,
I don't think that's grounds for chopping block. I think that's grounds for what Murder has been talking about as far as vetoing trades coming up. Because I admit it, I said in the chat, I've done collusion trades. And that's what it looked like from the outside looking in. And I've said it before I even called out collusion. I said I done it last year. He proceeded to show that I did it last year after I even already admitted it before I said anything. But I was like, hey, I've done it before. But this is also why I think we should somehow figure out to stop it. Because, I mean, that you said you felt like maybe it didn't help you, but it gave you 20 points almost to where the running back you had there before that trade only had 6. So it was a huge difference in the game. And I mean, yeah, I won. I mean, I wouldn't have been mad if I would have been mad if I lost because I didn't feel like it was an even trade. So I'm not even gonna lie. But, I think, I think like what Murder Rick's saying, it's just it sucks because I feel like when it comes to vetoing trades,
gonna get vetoed.
You're gonna have people in your feelings. Then is dang if you do, dang if you don't. So it's one of those things where we're gonna have to grab the committee and hear what they gotta say, and the committee will present it to us. I think.
So, would you? I guess this would be for both of you guys. Are you guys for vetoing trades in the league and having everybody vote on it?
No,
and obviously, well, everybody wouldn't. But if you had enough votes and not enough to outdo you, then you would get that trade. So champion, no, we them boys.
Because I say the committee, vetoes, like select people who are unbiased about trades and will allow trades to happen. If the whole league votes, people will deny trades if they feel like one person
is going to hurt them. That's what I said originally. That was my argument to Murda when he said, hey, because I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest. If I feel like that trade is going to damage me for winning next week, I'm vetoing it. That's what it comes down to, you know? So if everybody has a say in it, I just think, it's going to be, it's not going to go well.
Okay. All right. I want to bring up this comment. And the reason why I want to bring up this comment is because of who it's from and where they're at. And that, in my mind, is why I really don't understand this comment. I know what it's about. But for me being at the bottom, I have nothing to say about somebody on the top. And that's just me. So what are you guys' thoughts about just being overrated? You know, do you think that the people that are being called out as overrated are legitimately overrated?
Well, I got a game to play, so I'm gonna have to.
Well, would you like to chime in on this as you make your way out, or
look? Hey man, go ahead and answer this question.
Yeah.
You know?
Or should we skip to get it off your chest real quick?
Real quick, I'll answer the question and I'll do a little get it off your chest. The overrated, I think he was talking about murder and bad intent. I can see it feels that way. But I do agree with what you said also. Like, you're not going to talk about somebody when you're at the bottom. So it's kind of half and half. I don't know what an overrated fantasy football team is.
Yeah.
Okay.
About it, like, because anybody could blow up at any time. So it's like, I don't know what an overrated team is. So that's on that. And get it off my chest. I'm just excited about the league, man. Everybody's doing work. Everybody's doing their thing. And I just am excited for the playoffs to start soon. Good luck to everybody. And like I said, it was a little bit of my get it off my chest. But last place will be in the B League. So be ready.
And that's something that you're going to fight for if that's what's going to happen.
I'm not fighting for it anymore. I will figure out how to get to commissioner tools on my phone, and I will eliminate that person from the league. They will not be in the league. They will be in my B League. And I will welcome you with open arms.
Hey, sounds like a good welcome for anybody.
Yeah,
if that's where you want to be.
Easy league. You get your ratings up. You get good.
This is true. All right. Well, anything else, champion, as you leave us and we get ready to talk about some quick other little things. I think there's some more comments that are blowing up right now.
The main comment is just Eric is unsteady about.
Right, great. Later.
He's unsteady about us putting Deuce on the chopping block because he don't talk. Even though I'm clearly saying again, it's not because he don't talk. I mean, that definitely equates into it. But he's at the bottom. Anybody at the bottom, you know. And again, you said Paul. I think he said something about Paul. Hold on, let me find it. He said, but Paul was on the chopping block and almost won the league, right? Mm-hmm. So Paul was at the bottom doing terrible, but at the bottom it was so close. And at the end, he ended up coming in the 8th spot, and so that's why he ended up even making the playoffs. And he played me in the championship and got blown out. So again, I think it's not about if you don't talk, because, I mean, Richard doesn't really talk, but he's at the top of the board as well. So on the bottom of the board, at the end of the day, you're on the chopping block. That's really like 9 through 12. I mean, it is. I mean, it is what it is, and it's like we talked about it multiple times at events. We want this to be an active league, So
right.
people who aren't even making moves, if your team sucks, and you're not making zero moves, like, are you really playing fantasy football? Are you playing? Because as the example I used earlier, for even dumps like a truck, you're at the bottom, bright side's at the bottom, and you guys are constantly making moves to move around your team. And so it's like, okay, you're making moves. So I can't really say you're not playing. So if you're at the bottom and you're not making moves, in my opinion, you're not really playing anymore.
Right.
It's like, yeah, might as well throw you on a chopping block. We did chop Dre based on a trade he made. That was terrible. But
we almost dropped Mighty Rick for a trade that he did, or a drop.
Well. And it's stuff that we bring up, and I think it's stuff that we talk about at the meetings, like the end of the year. That's why I think it's important for everyone to make the end of the year. Because if you don't make the end of the year, then, I mean,
What can we tell you?
Yeah. But I even think in Dre, he didn't know how to play fantasy football.
No.
So he had to go. He had to go. He didn't know how to play at all. Zero. It was that trade. So he tried. Yeah, man. But yeah, that seems like the majority of the comments is the chopping block. And hey, man, address your commissioner rankings, man. Bishop's pretty upset about those.
Which I don't even know why. I mean, okay, sorry. Let me correct myself. I know why. I do know why.
Right.
I do know why. So explaining the power ranks, it honestly is based on performance, not about who's on your team, but how does your team perform? Are you constantly below your projection? Are you constantly above your projections, or do you actually meet them? On a week-to-week basis, you, Corey, you them boys, you've had, I think, maybe 1 week where you shot below your projection, but every other week, all the other 7, besides that one, you have been above your projections and beating them every week. So something like that. In the beginning, when you were 0-3, yeah, you were performing, but you're like in the middle. And now that your team is just outperforming everybody, your climb is going up. I am not saying with these power ranks that my team is better than any of the people that are below me. It's just from week to week, and as time goes, not just projections, just as what your team actually does. Like that's what it's really based on, not the projections. It's what your team did that week,
right? Versus
and community versus the projection. Yes. So at any point in time, if anybody, Delancey, would like to have any kind of facts, Delancey, I can definitely show you the reasons why we are where we're at with our performance, our actual versus our projection, our cumulative points, whatever it is you want me to show you, because I look at this stuff all the time. I have a website that I go to that it just brings it all in and gives me all this information. So that's really it. And if you really look at the power rankings again, and you look at where people are at just over the course of the season, I would hope that people are seeing that, yes, I am where I'm at because of how my team has performed and my record. That is going to be a direct, a direct relationship between the two. I am 2-6. However, I score more points than others. Yeah, but more often.
It's just whoever you're playing against is scoring more as well. And so that's why you're losing. That's how I was losing. I mean, I was number 1 for people scoring on me at one point. It's changed. And that's why I was hot. I started off 0-3. I'm like, man, I'm having good games. I'm outdoing my projections, but I'm losing. And so Yahoo had me to finish last. That's all I know.
With the Yahoo stuff, which as I mentioned in the chat, I think like last week or something, that we took it off, was because they're just untrue. If you take off your entire team, then
we played any game. It had me to go and whatever. I was like, yikes.
You went, oh, it said 0-13 for a bit.
Yeah.
I was just like, ooh, Corey.
Yeah. I was like, it hurt me. It hurt my feelings. And then I start off 0-3. Hey. I was like, dang.
Hey, it's right? Like, dang.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to recover from this? Like, I'm not only am I losing, I'm projected to lose. And now it's coming true. I don't even know, but I can't even go off those projected wins anymore. I do have like a little something that I can actually show you guys of possible situations for the playoffs, if you guys would like to.
I mean, you can show us, or we can save that for next episode.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
I'll make sure that's ready. And when we do our league pick'ems, we'll come to a consensus, and we'll be like, okay, this person's going to win because it'll fix that for you. And it'll show you what the next week's lineup is going to be like.
Like you said, there's a lot of matchups this week that determine a lot of different standings. So it's going to be more exciting next week, I think.
Definitely.
Let's see what's going on. Man. But yeah. Man.
Oh, what?
No, I was going to say, did you have anything else?
Looking at all our topics that we've had before, I'm going to throw this up there again just so people are aware. The trade deadline is next Saturday, November 14th. I don't want anybody to say I didn't tell you. I told it in the chat as I responded to Bad Intent. I responded with it. It's on the ticker at the bottom of the screen. I don't want nobody telling me I didn't know. Other than that, I think that might be our show. I want to give a last question to you, and if you would like to close the show after this question, with anything else or just this topic, going into week 9, being 5 games away from the playoffs starting this week, Corey, who has to put the cup down?
Oh, let me look real quick here. It's tough, man, because let me see. Let me go to the overview here. Because I like your matchup this week, man. You know, I think my put the cup down was you previously, but if you can get this win, honestly, man, it's weird. He's sitting in the 8th spot, man. But I'm gonna have to say, Gio's team. Even the people below him. It's tough, man. It's tough because every time you tell Gio to put his cup down, he comes back up.
So maybe it's a good thing to tell him.
I'm gonna stay relevant, man. I'm not gonna say Gio. I'm honestly gonna say again, based on what I've been saying, not making no moves, not really doing nothing. Team steady losing. He's on a 4-game losing streak. Deuce Bigelow. Mm-hmm. It's time to put the cup down, man. And that's not even because you're my rival. If he don't make any changes, I mean, he's trending beyond. He's on a 4-game losing streak. And no one's in here is on a 4-game losing streak. Not even. I mean, you're close. You're on 3.
Hey,
but
I'm not 4.
Hey, I mean, that's who I got for putting the cup down, man. Everybody else, I think, like I said, Dumps Like a Truck is making moves. If you win this week, that's going to be solid. Gio's always just coming out of nowhere. I mean, so yeah, that's what I got for putting the cup down.
And that's a solid. I think that's a solid pick. I this week do not wish to give a put the cup down, and that is only because I'm in last place, and so if anybody should be putting the cup down for me personally, it should be me until I show some improvement. I'm trying to get it together. I try to put the cup down, but I just keep picking it back up.
I feel you. You still fighting, man. You fighting.
We'll fight to the end. I don't know if anybody remembers 2019 season. I was in the exact same spot for the entire season.
Yeah.
The last 4 games.
You made
the last 4 or 5 votes.
Yeah.
And I ended, yes, in 11th, but I wasn't last. So I'm
pretty
hopeful.
Get out of last, man. Get out of last.
That's it. You know, with champion having his idea of like, yeah, whoever's in last, figure out this and get them out. Hey,
I think everyone is adamant. Whoever comes in last, they ready for them to go. You know.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say there's people in the B League still wanting to get up.
Yeah. I will say, and I will go on record. If I am in last, I'll step out, but I'm still gonna commish.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
But I mean, if that's what the people want, and I come in last, and we're not giving any, special favors. I'm not trying to say, oh, because this is our league, then we're immune from this rule no matter what.
Well, I think if
it happens,
league, I think if it's our league and you have 2 championships, you're immune. So.
If you just say that, and I was like, hey.
I mean, there's one banner. I don't know where the other one is. It's somewhere over there. There they are. Oh, they're the banners. You know.
Oh, you can do it now too.
I can do what?
You can see them. Well, we're just talking now. I mean, we can.
See what?
So you can add a banner.
No, I'm talking about my banners on the wall in my background.
Oh, sorry, man. I think it broke up a little bit. I think my connection.
Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and call it a show. Again, thank you guys for all chiming in. Definitely listening. We appreciate it. Sippin Hennessey. Next time, grab your cup, and we're gonna have another special guest or not. We'll see who it's gonna be. Maybe it's, as my boy Stone would say, Delancey. That's how he says his name.
Delancey.
You have to, get somebody on here and make it happen. But again, man, it's your boy, Co-Commish, We Them Boys, with the host over there.
Falcons rise up. You already know. My record matches their performance, and that's what it is. This is Sippin Hennessey, episode 4. Peace. Cheers to you, man. Oh, I'm still on the camera.